Oh, hi. Y'all, I'm tired, but the art fair is done. And a bunch of you were asking for me to film while I was actually there and talk about it a little bit more. So that is what we are here to discuss. I was hoping to film more during the actual event, but it's just really busy, and I'll be completely honest with you. I lost money on it, and this is my first time not at least breaking even. I had a tough day. I had a tough weekend, and I was feeling pretty discouraged. I am an eternal optimist, so I kept saying to other people when they would ask how it went, I would respond more positively than I actually felt, and I think part of it was me trying to talk myself up a little bit more. I'll show some footage after of me leaving the event and talking about it, and that is exactly what's happening, is I'm like telling you all how it went and framing it in a better way than I actually felt about it. But I was real bummed out the rest of the day. Yesterday was like a really long work day for some projects I'm doing for a friend, and I'm actually surprised I'm feeling like filming this right now, because today I had a couple like administrative things to do first thing this morning and double check my taxes and all that kind of stuff. Very, very exciting paperwork things. But today I was gonna force myself to take the day off and just do things I felt inspired to do. And I just really want to talk about the art fair, because that is what is weighing on my mind, and I think filming this will kind of like get that off my chest, and then I can sit and read for the rest of the day, which is also what I want to be doing. Actually, that's a lie. I'm gonna read after a project I came up with that I wasn't gonna film, but I think it will be funny, and there are things I want to share with you guys about it, so that's also probably gonna turn into a video. Fucking workaholics, man. This is what happens, is like, yeah, I'm gonna chill and work on a project just for me, and that's probably going to be a video. Anyway, I'm getting off track. But just acknowledging, leading up to this weekend, I definitely burned myself out a bit, and today needs to be a like, put work things on pause for like just a few hours and chill out. But yeah, so first things first with the table is what it ended up looking like. Setup took so long because even though I had two helpers, again, Sam and Galen, you're just incredible. Thank you so much. I think I would have had a much harder day without both of you there. I know I would have had a much harder day without both of you there. But yeah, I hadn't made actual price tags for everything. I had lists of the prices for stuff, but that was mostly for my own brain, because if I was pricing stuff out the day of, I would have just undercharged for absolutely everything. Which even during the event, I was getting a little panicky about not making that many sales. So my knee-jerk reaction was just to like cut all the prices way down just to get stuff sold. That's like the hardest thing about doing all of this, is actually charging stuff for what they're worth. Honestly, not charging enough for what they're worth for the amount of time and like the ideas and the effort that are going into a lot of these things. They technically should be even more than I was charging for them. I'll talk about this later in the video, but I don't think it ended up being my crowd. There's another event coming up that I think will be more suited to my stuff. I'm gonna think of that Harry Potter event as like the actual test for how well my stuff can sell. Yeah, I'm trying not to be too hard on myself for not making sales at an event that didn't end up being as suited for me as I kind of thought it would be. As far as my actual setup, it took a lot of tweaking while we were doing it, because I hadn't done the full table display yet, and I am actually contemplating getting 2 tables for the next one, but I don't want to put the cart before the horse. Like, this didn't go well financially for me. Why would I invest even more money into the next one when, like, who knows how that could go? I'd just be losing more money. So I think I need to just like baby steps with this. But I really liked how everything looked and all the little flags. Having Sam and Galen's input as far as what everything ended up looking like was awesome. In my art fair prep video, I talked about wanting to play with height more, and I think I'm headed in the right direction as far as that goes. There are definitely some things I want to change. I am shocked that this is the case for me, but I really want people to feel like they can play with the stuff on my table, like really get their hands in there. I guess I just had everything like so nicely laid out that it was keeping people from really touching things. Because I know for me, if I can actually like feel everything and there are samples and stuff to play with, and I kind of get a sense of what it actually is that I'm buying, I'm more likely to purchase those items. The things I did end up selling were laid out in a way that it definitely encouraged people to touch things. I already have some ideas for what to do as far as that goes. I did get to have my garment rack, which I think was such a huge help. People were definitely going over to that and going through everything. It was really encouraging seeing so many people going through everything. The one downside of having people touch everything is I'm pretty sure someone like had hot chocolate or coffee and got it on one of the costumes I had, so I hope it washes out, but I took it down partway through the event because It was my red squadron dress, so it's white on top and orange on the bottom. And oh my God, there was just this like messy line of stuff on the center of it. And I was like, oh God, I can't have this out because then people are just gonna think I put like dirty old clothes up a garment rack. So that was frustrating, but also it's just part of it. Thankfully, it was a piece that I was like definitely up for selling, and I like how it came out, but it wasn't a showcase piece like my Pikachu onesie or my Kaylee Fry jumpsuit. I wasn't as disappointed having to take that one down. I don't think that many people were really looking at it. I did have little price tags on everything that were hanging down that had the price and the name of the thing, but I wonder if I put more descriptive and even little like cartoony details on some of these items, it will at least get people to like spend more time at my table to read the little notes. And also just if they're confused about it and don't want to ask me, even if I offer like, hey, if you have any questions, let me know. Not everyone's responsive to that. One thing I forgot is like, if you say hi to someone, they're not always gonna say hi back to you. And normally I'd be like, well, that's fucking rude. It was a nerd market. It's a lot of people that are probably generally kind of awkward. I know this is generalizing, but people that are socially awkward and don't know what to do. So like, it's fine. You can't take that personally if that happens with you, because sometimes people just want to shop and like pretend you don't exist unless they want to actually physically buy the thing. It's hard to read, and you also don't want to be rude by not saying something. So sometimes it just falls on deaf ears, and that's okay. I want to spend more time on the signage. Also, probably just wouldn't have had time to do any of that stuff if I hadn't had friends helping me set up. But it also makes it less daunting for the next event, which I'm pretty sure I'll be doing by myself at the Queen City Kamikaze Con weekend on my 30th birthday in March. One thing I did have more success with than I expected was a mailing list, or signups for a mailing list, I suppose. I just had this stationery laying around and I made some lined paper for it, and we put a sign out that said you got a free soot spray, which are just little pom-poms I made for a video ages ago, if you signed up for the mailing list. And I haven't, as of today, actually put that together yet. I've signed up for the mailing list website and everything. It's just a tiny letter thing. I won't go out more than once a week, but it's something I'm looking forward to, just keeping people updated. Like if you watch my videos but aren't subscribed and you want to know when they're going up, I have been saying that they're going up on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but if you miss one, it'll all be in one place. If I put new products out on my Etsy shop, I'll have photos on there. It's not going to be like an overwhelming amount. It's just like, hey, if you missed anything else, any other side products or events I'm working on, like coming up or just finished, it's just going to be updates on there. And also maybe like recommendations for other stuff I've been watching that week, or, you know, if there was another shop at that market that I really liked, I'll share stuff like that. I feel like it's a good outlet. And then I can also just keep track of my own shit that way. But yeah, probably 10 people signed up for the email list, which was honestly more than I was expecting because I don't love giving my information out to other people. Also, super pro tip, double check that your card reader works before the event happens. Thankfully, the Square app, which I have an Etsy card reader, it doesn't seem to be functioning. It like registers when it goes on my phone that it's a card reader, but it wasn't entering any of the information when I was swiping my card. But at least with the Square app, you can manually enter the card number. Thankfully, the one card transaction I ended up doing, I still had the test amount, which I was just charging my own card for $1 to try the swiper, which wasn't working. So when the woman came up with like $20 worth of stuff, I just charged it for the one and was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I have to run it through again. And she was very, very patient. She wanted to buy one of my little dice bags, which I haven't listed online yet, but they're coming. She bought one of those and they were only $3, and I wasn't willing to do a card transaction for that because especially if you have to manually enter stuff, they take a higher percentage, which at least it's an option, but it sucks that you have to lose more money on the sale. And it's entirely on me for not looking into actual functional card reader ahead of time and testing any of this out. So I thought I'd be good because it used to work, and I just hadn't tested it in a while. Anyway, this woman was so patient with me and let me run everything through again, and I think I accidentally overcharged her $2, and she was fine with it. Thankfully, I felt so bad afterwards because it was supposed to be a total of $18 because she got one of my mystery bags. That's what I was getting to before. She bought a dice bag. I wasn't going to do a transaction for $3 because I would have made like less than $1 on it, I think. So she bought one of my mystery bags, which were $15. So the total should have been $18. It's very basic math. And for some reason, after the $1 went through, my brain was like, oh, it needs to be a total of 20. Like it didn't register. But she also, yeah, wasn't like giving me grief about it. So another note for me to make for next time is to make an actual price list next to the register, because I had papers I could have flipped through and like I had the signs for everything. I knew what the prices for stuff were, but was just having a time and brain not functioning properly. And obviously had she said something, I would have refunded her or whatever, worked it out. And if I hadn't upcharged those $2 extra, I wouldn't have even made my table back, because I think I made like $41 and the table cost $40. Yeah, I barely squeaked through with the table. So I kept saying I broke even, but I didn't, because I put all the time and money into making the stuff. I drove there, I parked, all of the things. I would have bought my own lunch, but friends were insistent on spoiling me. Oh my God, I haven't even touched on the most important thing of the day. Y'all, also, I don't know if it's annoying anybody that I've been saying y'all. It's just a gender neutral thing. I'm trying to step away from saying guys all the time, because I don't mind when people say it to me in a like mixed gender crowd or whatever, but I know sometimes it feels exclusionary. So I'm putting the effort in there. Y'all is not something I naturally say because I'm from New Hampshire, but it seems to be a good go-to. If you have other recommendations, I can try to like work into my vernacular, let me know. But anyway, the most important part of the entire day was the doggies. Good grief, the number of puppers that came by my table. I've always said having a table at comic book conventions where there's a lot of cosplay happening is great, because you get like a free show. Everyone's walking by and you see pretty much everyone. I mean, who doesn't love corgis? And there were 2 of them, and one had a little bandana because he was such a fancy little gentleman. And I got to give scratches to a bunch of the dogs there. Not all of them, because if I was working or like there were just a lot of people around, I didn't want to be too in the way. But there was a little Shiba Inu puppy that was only 4 months old. He was real bitey because he was teething because he's a baby. It made me so happy. I didn't know that bringing your dog there was like an okay thing to do. I am 100% designing some dog bandanas that I can sell for cheap, especially for the Harry Potter market if I get accepted. I was gonna make people bandanas, not that there's gonna be a difference in the size or anything, but like specifically thinking of these being worn around a little doggo's neck. Oh, it's gonna be so good. So yeah, I will jump into the clips of me talking while I was desperately lost in a parking garage. But overall feelings a couple days later, not as heartbroken about it. I feel so weird about complaining about not making more money, because I did make my table back, but I basically paid for my own travel to go there. And that's not, I spent money to work, which wasn't the goal. I'm really hoping that this can turn into like part of a side business, you know? Like ideally, I was thinking if I was moderately successful at these events that I could do like one a month, not necessarily at Mill Number 5 in Lowell, but just an event somewhere, whether it be a convention, art fair, whatever. That seems like a good plan. So I hope this isn't indicative of future events, because I really like doing these, and even just chatting with other people, even if they don't buy a thing that I have, but they're really excited about it. That's why I only make things for fandoms or whatever that I'm really passionate about, because I've been told by other people like, hey, Minecraft and Fortnite are really big, make stuff for that. Well, I don't play those games. It's not a thing I'm into. Not that I'm against other people being into it, but if someone's like, hey, cool Minecraft creeper thing, which I only know what those are called because of my niece and nephew. I am second guessing if that's even the name of the green guys. Can't nerd out about them, and it seems very disingenuous, and then I'm just not going to be as excited to make it because it's not a thing I care about. That would just take the heart out of it for me. I don't know, it's like I'm showcasing a side of myself with these tables, and you know, I'm very, very into Harry Potter, so when they see a ton of Harry Potter stuff, it's like, oh fuck yeah, I'm Hufflepuff too. Okay, parking garage section. I vaguely remember some things I talked about, was less than 48 hours ago, but I definitely burnt myself out doing all of this, so who the fuck knows what I was saying by the end of it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Well, the fair's done. It's nice because it wasn't a particularly long day, but it was a much smaller crowd than I was expecting. Well, hey, it is future me, and all the footage that happened before this scene where I'm sitting in the bed of my, not bed, in the cab of my truck. All the audio is unusable because I was in a fucking parking garage. What was I thinking? As I had mentioned earlier in the video, I was pretty much telling you that I wasn't feeling too bad about how it went, but that was very much not the case. And then I got lost and couldn't find my truck anywhere. There's a lot of panic. This angle and me frantically looking around, so you didn't actually miss much, and you couldn't actually hear anything. There's so much background noise because again, it's in a fucking parking garage, which is maybe one of the noisiest spaces on the planet. Also, before I jump back into the truck footage, I got a fucking P.O. box, and I haven't actually told any of you about it in a video yet. I just made like an Instagram post. If you would like to send me something, perhaps say a card for my birthday next month. Who doesn't love receiving mail? I would be excited to hear from you.
You don't have to do anything fancy. Like Cheryl already sent me a really, really cool gift that I've been using every time I use my sewing machine. Just a letter, just telling me how you're doing. Will be great. The address is Sewing Nerd Studios, P.O. Box 751. Whatever text is on the screen right now is the accurate one. I believe it's 751. Londonderry, New Hampshire, zip code 03053. Let's be like for real pen pals, because I keep threatening that and then not following through on this part, but I finally did the dang thing. Okay, holy shit, this video is taking ages, even though there's a lot to say. So back into the part where I'm sitting in my truck. Cool. Talk to you in a minute.
I expect future me will do some voiceovers over the parts I filmed at the mill, but this seems like a good time to actually end the video. So if you missed it, I did a whole video about like my art prep process. I'm also doing a couple, at least one event next month, if not two. I'm hoping for two if I get that Harry Potter event. So please feel free to ask questions. I don't know if I'm covering helpful things or not. You know, like with everything you do, I did learn a lot from this today. I want to help other people be as successful as possible, even when maybe I'm not the best example. If you would like to check out my Etsy shop, I'll link to that below. If you want me to make you custom stuff or send you things from events like this that I find and think are neat, I send stuff out for my Patreon every month. I also give more in-depth notes and exclusive videos over there. So if you want to go hang out, go for it. That'd be great. I'd love to see you over there and we can hang out. If today's Wednesday, I'll see you on Saturday. And if today's Saturday, I'll see you on Wednesday. I need water and to go get out of this fucking parking garage.